are live in 5, 3, 2, 1, unpause. There we go. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. Welcome back, friends and family of the RNG clan, to another very exciting episode of the RNG Arena. Another brutal fight again on Kolodny Firma with your hosts, Festive, Long Johns, and Iceman Joker, of course. How's it going, Festive?
Iceman, I'm doing great. Enjoying my day off. It's a nice winter wonderland outside in Kansas City right now. So I am staying inside where it's nice and warm. The battlefields of Kolodny Firma.
Yeah, that's a good atmosphere for casting, isn't it? Like when it's cold outside.
Oh, it's beautiful. The snow's coming down. It looks disgusting out there. It's gray everywhere. I don't want to be any part of that. I'd much rather be in here with you, Iceman.
Oh, so charming.
So what do we got for us today? Who's our stars of the show?
We got Quentin, aka Field Memory Acceptance, as Ost here, playing against Romeo, who is actually apparently back from the death.
He's back! He has returned from the goo.
As his favorite faction, the US Forces.
Yes, yes. So Quentin, obviously a very well-known Wehrmacht player, austere player.
Yep.
He's going for #1 in all factions. He's very, he's got a lot of motivation for this game. And we see commander choice right off the bat. He's gone mechanized, obviously. Just about the only commander anybody goes against the U.S. forces is austere. Gives you the best fighting chance.
He starts on the east side of this map, which is, in my opinion, like I'd prefer this side to start on as austere a lot.
Yeah, I think it's much easier to utilize MGs on this map.
Exactly.
And, right off the bat, at second unit, he produces an MG. Very interesting.
Yeah, we see double re-echelon start for Romeo, which is pretty common for him. He does that a lot.
Yeah,
he's a real fan of that strat.
It's odd to see him use it against the Wehrmacht because typically that's something you see against OKW to deal with an early Kubel.
Yep.
But it does give you the early capping power. We'll see if he invests in a fighting position or not. Who knows?
It's an interesting choice. I'd also say it's definitely really effective on maps where you want to cap through, like, let's say 2 ways, like Simoski, at the same time really fast. But on this map, it's like you don't really have that situation. So it's an interesting choice, as well as the second MG produced now for Quentin. That's something you don't see that often either.
Well, yeah, might be in for some unmated play. My favorite, something a little different.
Yeah, we'll see. Now we're just gonna get some infantry company in here for Romeo to make it complete.
Yeah, right. Although we all know how much Romeo loves the airborne. This is. Let's make a note about this. This is how you deal with an early garrison of this church here. The wreck of this truck right here allows you to stick behind green cover, and you're only taking fire from one model of a grenadier squad. So you're going to win that engagement pretty handily, especially with the second rifle squad behind this P4 wreck. And he's not ready to give up this position. He's going to hop another grenadier in there.
Yeah, Quentin has the problem that, like, as austere, he's unable to just charge at green cover with another squad. Like if it be the other way around, there would be a rifle in the church and Grants behind that truck. You could charge the Grant squad behind the truck with another rifle, but any squad he has would just straight up lose to the rifles over there. So yeah, you can't really get him out of the cover so fast.
Nice MG placement from Quentin. He is suppressed the rifle in the middle, but suspects a flank from the south, as Romeo has forced off his Pioneer squad that was capping the VP. And rather than try and flank the MG, which Quentin looks like he was suspecting and that he repositioned to face from the south, he's going to start building some green cover so that if a squad that Quentin pokes around the corner here, he's got some green cover to immediately pop shots off. That'll be quite nice.
That's what he's doing. I just wondered why the hell would you build a tank trap there? Yeah, you see how much I play US forces. I don't even know that.
Yeah, it's a nice little spot for that. MG going in the church here. He's not going to last long. Romeo is continuing to stack this green cover here, but the MG decides to reposition it. Oh, very nice.
Well, that was a bit of a micro mistake, I'd say. Like he could have moved the lieutenant a bit more like to the other side of the church, and then he had like the squad on every side, which makes the MG pretty. Like it can only suppress one squad, so you would have been easy to get it out of there.
Yeah.
Now he finds himself all 3 squads getting suppressed. Yeah, it's a lost engagement.
Yeah, Romeo's going to be forced off. He has Tech Lieutenant, and he's gone with an M20 now. And he has all of the map, which is about what you would expect.
Yeah, you get a triple cap,
matchup.
double ammo. It's pretty solid.
This is where we're going to see Austir's commander choice come into play, because the Stuggy at 6 CPs is pretty huge, but Romeo is doing a fantastic job of just punishing the early game disadvantage from the Austir. The M20 is probably, if he's lucky, going to wipe this MG on retreat. He doesn't have to deal with the flak emplacements in the base, but decides not to risk eating a Faust with his M20, too valuable unit to try and lose. And now Romeo's making a play for the cutoff. MG nicely repositioned. This lieutenant's in trouble, and actually goes down to the MG. Probably going to be picked up by the rifle, but the rifle's going to eat the suppression and have to retreat immediately. M20 is going to eat a Faust here.
He's going to get in Faust range. Yeah, but it's only one Faust, that's not too much. It's basically just a waste of munitions for Quentin. He slows it down, but that's really it. Like, he can just... Oh, wow, that's pretty bold. He's placing a mine with an engine damage, wow.
Yeah, well, without all that much to counter, it's not too risky. I don't think that MG was in range to spot it, but it's a pretty defensively placed mine. A lot of times you'll see players, you know, like when you make a big push as the Americans, you got that big lieutenant power spike. You push the Austir off the map, and they'll lay a mine right here on this main road. But this is a little more defensively placed. And now we got a scout car from Quentin. Seeing that Romeo has decided to go in M20, he likely won't spend another 60 fuel on the AA half-track. And I'd be interested to see if Romeo decides to garrison this M20 with a rear echelon.
That's just what I thought. That would have been a really good choice. I mean, he hasn't seen the scout car yet, I guess, so that's probably why he didn't. But otherwise, I'd really suggest that, put an echelon in there and get the bazooka out to deal with the scout car. Yeah,
and now Romeo's just landed on even heavier. He's teched bars, and Quentin has yet to get medics, so a lot of his squads are really low. He's probably going to drain a lot of manpower in these next coming engagements. The ambulance is moving up pretty aggressively. If it gets spotted by the scout car, it could go down really quickly, but Romeo is maintaining control with the middle point there with the rifleman in that house. He's going to retake the south.
Yeah, but Quentin managed to get the entire north under his control. Like Romeo's cut it off. He got an MG in a good spot over there, and he's going to keep the fuel as well. So he's kind of breaking out of that bad early game situation now with the scout car. It really helped him. Also, you could really notice, like in that moment, Romeo did have to retreat all his forces. That gave Quentin an opportunity to bring his MGs back on the field and position them actually in a good spot. And once they are set up, this double MG placement is really powerful.
Yeah, we've got another M20 mine down right here. We could see a bait from, you know, Quentin's options at this point, and it looks like he has. I was just about to say he could call in a 250 with the P-Grins, and we'll see if he upgrades that with the Shreks to deal with the M20. Yep. But he could bait that 250 with the M20 into one of his mines, as I don't think he's seen him being placed yet. This MG in the middle is really susceptible to these bars. It's down to one man. Gonna have to retreat if he doesn't want to lose it.
Yeah, it's gonna get close with that one. It's vet one, so you don't really want to lose it. I'd like to see Romeo take. What's up?
Oh, he almost hit that M20 mine. He's going to eat an 18-8 if Romeo spots it, but he decides to retreat before he loses more models. Quentin is doing a fantastic job.
To go over the mine. Oh, boy.
Well, that was a short-lived 250, but he does keep the P-Grins alive. And now the ambulance, which was in a risky position to begin with, is now taking shots from the scout car. Let's see how aggressive Quentin decides to be with it. And Romeo doesn't. It's a little slow to back it up. He can actually chase. All he has to do is stay out of AT range, 18-8 range.
But the zoo comes.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Spots it. Yeah, but I mean, check out the map control. Completely flipped over. Double munitions, double fuel control for Quentin now. He has 2 VPs and is about to cap the third one. It just completely changed. I
Very
think
nicely played.
Romeo dropped an AT gun. Yeah, there we go.
Did, as he has already teched the major. It is just hitting the field now. He's at
Yep.
48.50 fuel, but he has almost no fuel income, and now Quentin is just rolling in the fuel. Look at the fuel disparity. Almost 40 fuel income for Quentin and +7 for Romeo. So Romeo is definitely on the back foot. He's going to have to make a decisive push right now before Quentin gets his Stug E. He's got basically one more round of engagements to make the most of this opportunity before the Stug E hits the field, which is going to be I mean, that's just a ridiculous unit against the Americans. This rate of fire is insane. Does so much damage.
Yeah, this is just straight out broken at the moment. There's no way around it. But
the scout car's in trouble. Or the M20's in trouble.
It's probably gonna go down to scout car.
Nicely played by Quentin. The smoke's going in, but there's nothing to back it up. The scout car's just gonna roll through it.
Unfortunately, we don't have ground to take on the scout car. It's something, by the way, I really like to see ground to take on the German scout car.
Yeah, be a nice little quality of life improvement to the scout car. Does eat an 18 aid. And there are bazookas on the rifles now. Crazy! How often do you see that?
Yeah, that's.
He must have. You know what? He must have. Oh, he picked that up from the M20 wreck. He didn't take that. That was my bad.
Dropped out of there. Speaking of taking something for the rifles, I'd really like to see Romeo taking grenades in the early game. Like, I think that would have helped him against the double MGs. He had what 4 squads, including the lieutenant, which is already dead. That could have utilized the nades, and against MGs, that's just so good. You could just smoke them and charge them.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like doing that when they've gone airborne because they feel like they'll sink too much munitions into it. But honestly, the map control you gain and the early pressure that you need as Americans can make up for that, especially in that you won't get forced off the field like we saw, and you'll recoup a lot of those munitions cost in the territory that you control. So I agree.
And especially,
I'm a huge fan of grenades, though.
Yeah, me too. I mean, especially against a double MG build, it's just super strong. Honestly, I'd say it's almost a must against double MGs. Like, otherwise, against a good player, they really...
Oh, no!
Wow. Yeah.
What a ridiculous shot from the Stug, and another 2 models wiped. And he's rolling in on the ambulance. The ambulance is going to go down. Oh, it's looking grim. The AT gun has repositioned, and the Zooks... Oh, and he wipes the the major too. God, this Stug is on a rampage. Reposition. Oh, he's got another Stug. He's really investing heavy in these Stuggies. He's going to try and all in Romeo right now, but he is not that far off from a Sherman.
Yeah, but he can really afford it. Like, he can just get Trex or an AT, like a Pack 40 or whatever. So he can fall back on that, and double Stug is just so punishing.
I mean, look at that. He's rolling right up into Romeo's base. There's nothing he can stop it. If Romeo gets an 18-8 off here, he has a chance at stalling it. There you go. He needs to get control of this AT gun back, though. He can't afford to lose that AT gun. That's his only form of hard AT. He's not that far off from a Sherman, which will do a ton of work against the scout car, the 2 Stuggies, and now a 251 being produced.
Yeah. That's a really good choice, especially against the... with the double MG. You can reinforce them and don't have to retreat them all the time.
And here we see just a straight-up territory denial from Quentin, forcing a retreat on Romeo's infantry.
Yeah.
And we see, Romeo has decided to go with the Thompsons on the paratroopers, I think because he's been starved for munitions. It's really he needs elite infantry. LMGs are 120 munitions, the Thompson's only 90. His munitions income has been completely starved, and this is a decent map for Thompson, so not a bad choice there from Romeo.
Well, that was a nice move with the light Howie barrage. It basically forced off 2 squads to retreat because he might have otherwise been able to capture that AT gun, but now he forced the squads off retreat. He was able to capture the AT gun for himself. So that was a smart decision.
Yep, very well played by Quentin, and here we see again the MG being placed nicely, suppresses a squad, but actually is forced to retreat because there was another supporting And Romeo is just getting continuously pushed back. Quentin, I mean, look at the army composition now. Quentin is just, I mean, the difference in army strength is just staggering. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Quentin's got 3 grins, a P grin, 2 Stoogies, a 250, or I'm sorry, a 222.
I just think Quentin didn't lose anything except the 251 to the mine. Oh no, not the 251. It's the 250. Just that. Yeah, but you know what I mean. He didn't lose any infantry.
Romeo's sticking with it. I think at this point he's banking on his Sherman. If he doesn't make the most out of this Sherman, I have a tough time seeing how he can come back into this game. He has, you know, he's not too far behind. He's actually leading in the VPs. I'm sorry, misread that. He's leading in the VPs, but I mean, as we can see now, Quentin is just digging in. He's repairing his Stugs. He's got the half track in the middle. He's putting an MG bunker down, which is going to deny that mid VP. And without an AT gun or anything else to really deal with it, we're feeling that bunker's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, also in this situation, Quentin pushed Romeo back. I mean, way back enough. It's just, even if he managed to make a little bit of a comeback now, he still has the option to just go for it and bank on a Tiger. Like, he has enough time to do that right now. He stopped the VP drain, and yeah, it'll give enough time for that.
And Romeo's so far away from a P47, not even that can save him against the Tiger. And he has to go Sherman. He can't get a Jackson. He needs the flexibility that a Sherman provides, because the Sherman HE rounds are just brutal against Grenadiers and the 4-man squad of Austere in general. But also the AP rounds are going to hard counter the Stoogie and the half track. The only thing he really has to worry about now is eating a Faust and taking shots from his stolen AT gun. So there is a window of opportunity here for Romeo to make something happen with the Sherman, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be really hard.
I don't think maybe it would be a good idea to go for the north, because Quentin's forces kind of focus around the middle. You got the Smet bunker over there, the half track. Maybe he should just go for the north. Most of his army.
And now the Stoogies are getting aggressive here, but they're getting, I mean, to the point where the Sherman might catch him if they overextend. He needs to get an engine damage on at least one if he wants to have a chance at killing both. First shot from the Sherman misses. That's unfortunate. And the Grenadier squad is moving up to Faust. That's really going to stall his advance. And now we've got
a crew shock. Wow.
Yeah, very nice use of the target weak point there from that Sherman, from the Stug. And AT gun moving up, but is pretty poorly positioned.
Yeah, but Romeo goes for it.
He's going to walk right into it.
Yeah. He got the armor piercing rounds equipped. That's cool. Like, you're facing your own armor piercing rounds. That's that must hurt.
And now we've got a pretty big push by Romeo. Priority number 1 should be to just stop the bleed. He needs to decap one of those.
Oh man, those Stoogies.
This is a slaughter.
Yeah, you can't just push with his infantry over there. There's 2 Stoogies. Even 1 would be probably too much, but 2 is just murdering.
Yeah. He did manage to wipe the AT gun, so that's a small consolation prize there. But Quentin is looking like he's got a death grip on the map right now. And Romeo is recognizing that he needs to make the most out of this Sherman, but he's going to eat a Faust. And the Stoogies at close range, man, they're going to wipe this Sherman, and that's probably going to be the game. This is it. He's going to move the scout car around to get the rear armor shots. Might wipe it with the scout car. And there it goes.
There we go. Yeah. Wow.
And these paratroopers are getting shredded by the P-Grans. And Romeo surrenders to Quentin. Very nicely played by Quentin. I mean, that was impressive. That's a matchup that I always struggle with. Austere versus U.S. forces is just really tough.
Yeah. It is really.
And that was textbook, man.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the Stoogies in that game, like, I don't know, maybe Romeo would have had a bigger chance of, like, coming back to this game, but the Stuggies kind of ended it. Like he had a bad engagement with the way he lost his lieutenant and then the M20, but you can come back from that. But against the Stuggies, it's just almost impossible.
Yeah, and you
It
know
just
the thing about the Stuggies that makes them so strong is that you don't have to tech for them. They basically are as, I mean, it's okay. It's not the exact same unit, but against like you could compare it to an Ostwind, which you'd have to tech tier 3 for, which would set your Tiger back, right? But in this game, we saw him get 2 Stuggies and still have a Tiger out, and the
Yep.
19-minute mark. And granted, the Stuggies gave him tons of map control, but I mean, there's a reason why this commander is chosen such a high
yeah,
percentage of the time, and
it's
what can you
it's
do,
not
man?
only it's not only that it even like does not push the Tiger back so far, but it's also like the combination itself, the Stuggy and the Pack 40 combination is enough. Like sometimes you don't, or a lot of times you just don't even need a Tiger. You can just roll the Stuggies in the Pack 40 combination because it's so hard to crack that up as use forces. Like you can't even work with the Stuggies against the Stugs with Jacksons because they just get shot by the AT guns, especially if the most recent target weak point changes.
Yeah,
It's so hard. Like I don't know, AT guns with 4 men get wiped by the Stugs as well.
yeah.
It's it's a tough one to deal with.
This was a pretty glaring example of how the meta plays out in this matchup. You either win early as Americans, or you go home.
Yeah,
And the mechanized commander or mechanized assault doctrine does a great job of mitigating the weaknesses of the Austere and allowing Austere to really take over the mid game. But yeah, that was an interesting game. I mean, Quentin pretty much put on a clinic. I mean, he's like the #1 or #2 Austere player right now. So, and he didn't exactly do it with Gren spam either. He had 2 MGs on Claudny Firma, which is not something that you see too often. So, props to Quentin. Well played. Very interesting to watch. And yeah, Romeo maybe a little bit rusty. I don't want to say anything because Romeo's a very high quality player. He's a very, very good player. Um, but he has been playing a lot of Grey Goo. And
yeah,
he's been, he got matched up against a really, really, I mean, Quentin is playing a lot of games. So,
yeah. It's like one of the toughest guys like you can get matched up at the moment. He's also like always totally in the game. Like he always plays a lot of ones. So if you face him, you probably have a couple of ones played already and be totally into it. So yeah,
by the
it's really
way,
hard.
we should make note of these sweet decals, brother. Look at that
Yes.
heart with the sword slicing through it. They're so cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I'm interested to see what Relic does with it because
Yeah.
there's potential there. But yeah, I mean, as it stands
just-
right
I
now,
just-
they're kind of hard to notice. I mean,
Yeah, I just want to
be
have them on a
honest.
different spot. Like put it on the roof of the tank, wide where you can see it.
Yeah, and a lot of the times the skins that they're on is it kind of camouflages a little bit. But yeah, it was a good game, short and sweet, 19 minutes. I like those games. I don't always have the energy to cast an hour-long game. So that
Yeah.
being said, let's wrap this one up, Iceman. What do you say?
Yeah, thanks for watching again. Another really, really interesting live game again. Notice that it was live game, not a replay. Yeah, fun to watch. Like you said, not too long, not that exhausting. So, yeah, thanks for watching again. It was fun for me, fun for you, I hope. So, yeah, tune in again next time. See you around.
Bye-bye.